Hello everyone. Okay, so we're back at you. We've had our meeting with the engineer and all's good on the engineering side. As far as this year goes, we'll take out the full permit. That will be all fine, etc. But we've got hiccups and we've got successes today. So let's get to it. First on the bad news. Bad news, frustrating news. In this whole process, unlike Canada, where when you bought a place, you bought a place, apparently we bought a place, but we can't use the place. Paperwork just takes far too long here. And so we actually have to go back and see the owner, and they have to actually have to give us permission in order for us to use our land. We can't put in a building permit because the taxes paid on the property don't reflect for a long time. And then with this typhoon, that's thrown an additional wrinkle into this whole thing. So not to be deterred, the lawyer says simple process, just go contact the owner. Okay, and hope that he doesn't ask for money to, merely put a signature on a piece of paper. So far, that seems good news. The fellow's willing for us to pick him up, take him over to a notary, and we've already got the document that we need, and he can sign it, and then we sign it, and it's notarized, and then we're off to the races. So that's where we're at with that. On the engineering side, the engineer's fine with the enlarging of the garage. Not in length so much. It'll be about 6 inches longer on the length on the inside, but we will go equal distance. It'll be a square box. And the idea behind that is that we have room to put the solar controller in and the battery system and have a workbench, etc. Place to keep the tools, because Lynn will probably want to do some form of gardening, etc. And we've got some additional good news coming, which we will share tomorrow, or the next day, or the next day after that. But suffice to say, some good news maybe. If it's not good news, it's still good news. Okay? So anyway, on the engineering side, let's get to that. So the engineering has proven to be good. We quite like the guy. Instead of having to go all the way to Cebu to see this one particular building product, it's called AAC. It's a aerated something or other concrete. So it's a blended product. It is extremely light, and they call it gluing. It's not a concrete or mortar mix that goes between the blocks, but it is a adhesive, and these blocks get put together. So rather than your standard cinder block, as we know it in Canada, or hollow block in the Philippines, this is full block, but it comes in different dimensions. So some of the stuff that we saw today was probably about 2 feet by 3 feet would be my guess. I didn't take a tape measure with me, but suffice to say is that they're good size blocks. And again, they get glued together, and then where the seaming is, they just put a very mild skim coat of concrete on it. That's just to level the wall out. But unlike hollow block, where the blocks tend to start leaning a little bit here and a little bit there, and the amount of mortar that they put between the blocks can be inconsistent, and there's a lot of preparation to the wall. And if you've seen other videos from other people building in the Philippines or elsewhere in the world where they use hollow block, you'll notice that they do multi layers of skim coats on the outside to get that surface flat, which we are told amounts to almost a half an inch of splattered on concrete. If your humidity in your area is too high, of course, they got to keep returning because they have to wait for that to completely dry. Completely dry, then re-moisten, and then put the next layer on. Okay, so anyway, so that's where we're at. We're going to use these AAC blocks. If you look them up, you'll see a lot of videos from India on this. A lot of this product is made in Malaysia, and so we're going to go that route. For one major reason, and that is they are extremely cool. We went to see a small demo where we had the fencing material that we looked at in a previous video. You can scoot back and have a look at that. They also had a wall there that was partly concrete and partly AAC, and it's noticeable to the touch. So given that our house has 100% exposure to the sun, there's no trees around it or anything. It's old farmland. Given all of that, this is going to be important for us. So also to deal with the hot water heat, he likes the idea. We will just do what most do here, which is individual little units under the sink to create the heat, except for the master bedroom ensuite, because the shower and the sink are shared. We would want one heater in there, but that one will be adjustable, because honestly, as warm as this water can get on these holding tanks, they're just not hot enough. So all good news. So we should have drawings hopefully early next week that we can review. We did a lot of reviewing today. Window heights off the floor. We reviewed the sink, the sit-up bar like we have at our property at Swan Lake in Vernon, British Columbia. And so we're going to do a pull-up bar there, because on the outside that will be our primary eating area, either front or back. And so we're excited. In my opinion, all good news today. On Saturday, Lynn has to do a course on water. We can't get a water connection unless she does this course. And they only accept one person in because of COVID, of course. It's about water saving and all of that type of thing. And I understand all of that. But in our proposal, we show rainwater harvesting. We show a gray water collection. We have a source here in town that has these 1,000-liter caged totes, so we're going to get a number of those. And at the end of the day, we might not connect to city water. I'm not pleased with how a lot of the water connections here run on the surface of the ground, and you're at the mercy of somebody not only tapping into the line, which is pretty rare, but you're at the mercy of them, cars snapping the pipe or whatever, so I'm not overly pleased. We may put a well in. We might even just get a certain level of testing done, just to see where we might see the groundwater, and then we'll have to get the water tested, because we are so close to the ocean. Will we find that the well is just salted anyway? So we need to know that. So anyway, all is good news from my perspective. We did get the news today that the septic tank and outside washroom will only take about 2 weeks to do. So that's good news. And the other good news is that the garage will probably only take about 3 weeks. So I'm going to ask them if they can do this simultaneously. It's just a matter of manpower, right? Just throw more bodies at it and we should be able to get her going. So here we go. That's a good day. I hope you enjoyed it. We'll talk to you again. Later, Gators.